Michael Burry, he had made a big case that these companies were going to be overstating earnings because of how they,
Appreciate their
handled
chips, yeah.
depreciation. So again, it just creates this cycle that now you are seeing it in very tangible areas, and we'll talk a bit more about this later. But you are watching. Burry famously made all of his money from credit default swaps on parts of the U.S. housing market. And we are seeing a vast rise for this market in credit default swaps around companies like Oracle, companies around like the Neo Clouds, Applied Digital type companies, that the market is increasingly building in expectations they are not going to be able to make good on these deals. And that's what's sparking the fear as well. So, what is this current DeepSeek moment? It's a general kind of backing off AI because of a disbelief among the money manager crowd about things like Sam Altman, and that's kind of giving them bad vibes. And it's also a concern that moving into this debt cycle is creating new risk that these companies aren't going to be able to handle their obligations. So that's the most concise way I would say what's happening at this moment. Now, Austin, the market this morning, we're filming, who knows how it will close, but the NASDAQ had initially opened down 1.7%, and I'm refreshing, it's down 0.57. That's still not in the green, but these kind of herding behaviors and ideas can change very quickly. So I think, if investors think April, it felt like the market was going to go down forever, and all of a sudden there was a quick change in narrative. The same can be true at moments like today. So we'll see if that happens.
And it would no disrespect to Dr. Burry, who is an unbelievably talented and sharp investor, but he's been pretty perma bearish ever since he made his mega win in the Big Short. He shorted Tesla famously and got torched on that. He said to short the market, I think it was 2 years ago, and the market's been ripping since then. He's obviously got good reasons to believe what he believes here, but simply because he called one crash doesn't mean that he's going to call this one. And my understanding is he actually already has closed out a short position on Palantir, which we talked about earlier, and he actually is closing down Scion Asset Management, which is his firm, and returning capital to shareholders. So that it's an interesting data point, but I would encourage our listeners not to hang too much on it. Burry has been calling for a lot of crashes for a long time now.